Name is Chavisa, and I am trying to make this video to explain a much shorter way of deploying your Rocket.Chat server so that you can actually use that server for your development purposes. For, let's say, you would be making an app or you want to assist, you don't want to develop on the server itself, but you actually need the assistance of the server for your work. Right. So I okay. So the key points would be I would be showing you the developer documentation where you can actually uh, see everything from top to bottom, how you would be deploying it with your own domain. But today I won't be showing you the domain method. I would be showing you how you can actually deploy it in a much shorter way without using your own domain and without using your SSL certificate, maybe the much easier way. Also, after that, I would be showing you how you can actually make a EC2 instance on AWS, set up your own elastic IP address, assign it to the EC2 instance. I would be just following this documentation only. It's just a shorter way, nothing else. So you just go to developer.rocket.chat, which is the official documentation for Rocket.Chat. And a quick disclaimer, this video is just for developers. If you are a company professional or anything like that, you should be actually going towards the secure way, not this shorter way, for sure. So just go to this way, choose a deployment host. uh, yeah So this is the Docker. This is the Rocket Chat documentation, and just go to Docker and Docker Compose. So it will just load this up, and just go in this cloud deployments. Okay, open AWS. Okay, so this is the whole procedure we are going to follow. Okay, so keep in consideration about it. Okay, so you can follow this complete documentation, so that you can actually configure your nginx, you can actually configure your domain and all. But when you are actually setting it for your development purposes, then you might not actually need it, and you actually want that this should be deployed as quick as you can. Right, so I would be heading to AWS development console. So just go to console.aws.com. So that's good. Okay, so let's start with the first things first. Okay, this guide covers the following: hosting the Rocket Chat. Okay, fine. So Stefan is launching on EC2 instance, so log into the AWS console. Okay, we are good. Open the EC2 service, click on instances in the left sidebar and click on launch instance to set up a new EC2 instance. Okay, fine. So we would be needing Ubuntu 18.04 LTS. Okay, fine. That's also good. Fine. We need to allow the security groups. uh, okay, and we need to review and confirm and launch this. So this is the first step. Let's quickly do it. Okay, so just go to the services, click on EC2. You can also search it here, uh, EC2 here, or it's just very quick for me, it's here in my dashboard, so I'll go here. Okay. Okay, fine. So just go to this instances in the left sidebar. There's instances. Okay, so fine, I have already hosted one of mine, but I will restart it. Okay, so launch instances. Fine. Okay, great. So we are in. Okay, so this is what we have to configure. Okay, so I write it Rocket.Chat dev vid. Okay, so this is the name, and we need to consider Ubuntu for this. You can just go for the older versions also, but for this purpose I am actually taking in consideration Ubuntu server 22.04 LTS. Fine, this architecture is good. Okay, first things first, if you go for a T2 micro, it won't be sufficient, right? So at least go for T2 small. T2 small would be very smooth for you. You won't be facing any issue, and you at least like 2 3 people can use it. Okay, so so there's a key pair log, so you can consider that or not. Okay, so in the security groups, allow HTTPS traffic and HTTP also, right? Both are here. You can configure your storage. You can configure it. 8 GB should be fine or anything. I am just going for 10 gigs. Okay, so that's it. Mostly, you can actually add a new volume also. I'm not going to teach here AWS or anything. Uh, I'm just going to create a new key pair. So kindly do these steps very this step very carefully, because without this you won't be able to SSH to this you know instance. So be careful about it. So create a new pair, RSA and PIM. Okay, fine. So create a pair. Okay, my bad. So Rocket Chat. Just name it in whatever you want, right? So I'm naming it Rocket Chat RSA and .pm. Okay, create a key pair. So fine, you can see that I have downloaded a file called Rocket.Chat.pm. Okay, fine. So just take care of this. Okay, take care of this. Fine, we'll come back to this later. Okay, so launch instance. Here we go. So you have already launched this instance. Just go to this instances thing. Fine. Okay, so we have our Rocket Chat dev bit ready. So this upper one is stopped and the lower one is working. Let me just refresh it. It will start in a few minutes. Okay, till the time it started, we need to do one more thing, right? So we need to actually give permission to this file. So okay, mm, fine. Okay, fine. Everything's going so smooth. Okay. Before I come back to this file, let's complete this AWS thingy. Okay, so we need an elastic IP address for this. Okay, so our step number one is clear. Okay, we have given this permissions in the security groups. Okay, we have allowed SSH, HTTP, and HTTPS. Fine. We have allowed a name tag. That's cool. Uh, okay, we launched it and fine. We have changed the server version. Okay, that's good. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, so let's go on this step. Allocate an elastic IP address. Okay, that's an important one. So let's go back to the services dashboard and just search for elastic IP. Okay, so this is elastic IP addresses. Okay, so one I have already made one. So this step is very important. So just go on allocate elastic IP address and whatever it is. Okay, just select Amazon pool of IP4 addresses. Okay, and fine, just allocate. Okay, so I have two addresses right over here. So now, okay, let me explain you something. So now we have actually created an IP4 address. Okay, elastic IP4 address over here, IP address. So the steps which remain over here is that, okay, our EC2 instance is over there. We need to associate this IP address to that EC2 instance so that we can actually uh, uh, do connect with that, right? Not actually connecting, but you can say we can actually use this IP address to make our request and all, right? Just follow these steps. So I click on this one. Okay, actions, associate elastic IP addresses, right? And in instances you can choose that. So this was the instant Rocket Chat dev. Okay, you can choose that and okay, associate. You're good. Fine. So this is associated with our instance. So there's a private IP address and there's a public IP address too, right? So we are good. So let's go back to our instances. Let's see how they are doing. Uh, okay. Okay. Let me make one thing clear to you. If you are from India, so one and also a student, one thing I am also very concerned about, that how much this T2 small will charge you. So it will charge you precisely 2 rupees an hour. Okay, so you use it for 3 hours, it will charge you some 6 rupees approximately. But if you forget it and say it's 100, say it's 100 hours or something like this, you would be charged 200. So be careful with this. Okay, if you are developing, and just use it while you have to share a feature, while you have to do something with this, or then, right? But don't be very careless with this. So fine, so we have this instance running, so it's time to connect with it. So go ahead and just go to SSH. I'm using SSH, right? So okay, fine. So this my so we are back to this file, rocketchat.pem. Okay, so just take care that this file is in here in my downloads. So what I will do is I will launch my terminal. This is already there. Fine. Okay, I think it will be visible to you. Okay, so I will just go to downloads. Okay, and this is the file. I will just copy it this. So yes. Okay, so you might come across this error. So you need to solve this error with chmod. You need to give the necessary permissions to this file. Okay, so how will you do that? So just do this chmod 400 rocket.chat App. Right, so the permission has been allocated, and now you can actually click on this and it will be just inside in a few minutes. Oh, see, we are in, right? So you can actually see all the statistics that out of my 9.51 GB allocated, 50.6 is already done. This is my private IP address, and whatever statistics are there. Now you can actually control this EC2 instance. You are in this computer. Now let's set up our Rocket.Chat server, right? Rocket.Chat development server. Okay, so fine. So this one not so important for uh, when comes to, because we don't need to do any SSL thing at all. So this one is not important. This one is not important. This configuring nginx, not so important. Okay, we are not doing that. Okay, so what you need to do is so first is we need to download we need to install Docker. So first just update your repositories by sudo apt get update, right? So that's an important step right here. Just wait for it while it completes. Okay, so fine, it's done. Okay, so okay, I am not going towards that, so you can actually do it sorry, sudo apt install Docker. Yes, right, so it's installed in Docker for you. Right, so you can actually check Docker version. Fine, so we would be using curl to install it, install Docker. So it's fine, like these are just all the big steps which I don't need, I need to follow. So just go to Docker and Docker, So just copy this link and just paste this. It's fine, it's good, right? So so just by following this, Docker will be installed in a few seconds. Yeah, wait for some time, right? And okay, so let's, okay, you need to actually go here. Okay, so fine, you would be actually for some steps. Okay, so AWS is fine, so we would be actually following some steps from AWS. uh, but after this, for installing Docker and for installing you know for actually installing doc Docker in your EC2, just go to this Docker and Docker Compose documentation, right? This will guide you pretty good, right? So now that our Docker is installed, just go for Docker version. So see, Docker is installed, we are good, right? So I'm going back to AWS. Okay, so Nginx, this step we are not doing. Okay, so fine, we are good with this. We have installed Docker, and now we are installing Docker Compose. Okay, Docker Compose is also installed, right? So we have Docker Compose also, right? Great, we are good. Okay, now the thing is, this script, I think there's some issue with that. uh, like sometimes I face some issue with that, so it would be better if you just go to Docker and Docker Compose, right? And just go back here and download this script. Okay, so just copy this over from here. Okay, fetching compose file. So you should be just have a read about Docker. So you actually need a compose file. So this compose file have all the information that where is actually your repository, what to fetch, and how to actually run it, right? What is the complete environment setup, right? So you just copy it, you just paste it, right? Your current file is here, compose file is here, right? So this is your compose file, right? So for specifically for this, if you want to use MongoDB Atlas, then just change the Mongo URL. Else, if you don't want to use it, just don't use it. It's absolutely fine, right? So so what will Docker will actually Rocket.Chat will actually use your local MongoDB, right? So I just open this compose file and just give you a glimpse of it, what is happening, right? So I'm using Vim over here, right? So if you are not hosting it on your domain, it's that's absolutely fine, right? So this is going to uh, fetch Rocket.Chat's latest version, uh, but yeah, you can actually fetch the Rocket.Chat's latest version. But quick disclaimer, if you are working on the GitHub app or any app, okay, specifically about GitHub app, I had faced some issues while uploading the app on the newer version of Rocket.Chat. I think they would be fixing it soon, but uh, for now, use Rocket.Chat version 5.2.0 for GitHub app mostly. So I click on I button and I change it to 5.2.0. Okay, that's cool, right? Okay, nothing needs to be changed. Yeah, nothing needs to be changed. You don't need to even touch it, right? So you just give it right and quit. Okay, we are good with our file, right? So compose file is already there. So the final step, right? Docker compose up, up, hyphen D, click. Okay, fine. Just use sudo for this, right? So it is actually pulling Rocket Chat's files and all for you. Right, wait for some time. So there are two things over here. As you can see, MongoDB and Rocket.Chat both. So MongoDB is a dependency of Rocket.Chat. MongoDB is a volume, and Rocket.Chat is a container, is an image. Yeah, 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 basically. So, so these would be running like MongoDB as a dependency of Rocket.Chat. So just hold on for some time. Okay. So okay, let's see what is happening with our Docker. Okay, sudo docker ps. Right, so these are the two images right here running for us. Right, so let's try looking at logs. Okay, so docker logs minus minus hyphen hyphen follow and just the container id. Okay, sudo. Okay, yeah. Okay, so wait for some time. It will actually start your server. Fine, as you can see that HTTP localhost 3000. So our Docker is so our Rocket.Chat is running at HTTP localhost 3000. Fine, but we cannot actually connect it right now. Okay, so I close it right now. We need to do some editing in the security groups. Okay, so let's go back to our AWS console, and in the instances, go to the instances and just select the one which is ours, Rocket.Chat Dev, right? And just click on this instance ID, right? So in security, so these are the ones. These are the security groups, inbound and outbound, right? We need to actually edit this inbound rules. We will go to the security groups and edit this inbound rules, and we will add our custom TCP rule that if there's a 3000, if there's a request on port 3000, just redirect it to this right, to this our CDIR block for anywhere, right? Save rules. Fine, so for port 3000 we are good. So we have registered this last time, so just go to EC2 one more time, just go to instances. Okay, yeah, just click on this one, instance ID, right? So you already have a public IP address, right? Just copy this one and make one more tab and write HTTP. It's HTTP, remember, right? And port 3000. Just click on it and give it some time to load. Okay, it's taking longer than usual. Oh, what is that? Is it Rocket.Chat? Congratulations. So for development you don't need to do like much. You can actually, I can actually connect this server to my Rocket.Chat's uh, Rocket.Chat Electron as well. So just go for HTTP and just connect. Okay, okay, yeah, port 3000, connect. I'm in. Right, so you can actually use such servers for testing purposes. Again, Uh, Thank you very much for watching. My name is Henet Chabisa. You can reach me out if you are facing an issue or anything. I would love to help you. Right. So now you can actually work with this on your own space without setting up any domain or any SSL certificate or anything. Quick, cut me. Right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.